Everyone has a price, and David Menzies is here. Alex Gunn is going to join us. So we now have an Olympic athlete saying, the way I continue with my Olympic dreams is I got to finance myself, I'll sell the medal. As my pal Lou Skiza says on AM 640, Jerry, happy capitalism. That's what it's all about. Ted DiBiase is right. Everybody's got a price. And this is a woman that she wants to fund, a comeback, her training, which is very expensive. And this is the basis of our society. Once you have an item given to you, it is mine, to choose and do what well, not if you get an Oscar. They tell you cannot. You're not allowed to sell an Oscar. Yeah, they were savvy in trying to maintain, I guess, the integrity of their trinket. And you have to turn it in and you get $1 for it, a symbolic dollar. But I believe there's no rule like that with the IOC. And let's not forget, the International Olympic Committee, Jerry, it's a games run by a bunch of Swiss businessmen over in Switzerland. They're not, doing charity work there. They're making lots of money.
It's a non-profit.
Oh, yeah, non-profit. Yeah, they're not driving ladders around to their meetings, believe me.
Alex, are you offended by the idea that an Olympian wants to sell her medal?
I'm not necessarily offended by this, Jerry. I think it really does give a clear indication that our Canadian athletes are underfunded. And it's obvious because our athletes can't hold down a full-time job and be an athlete. These athletes train twice a day, and some of them, like the one we're talking about specifically, has a family. So for her to do her full-time job of being a Canadian athlete representing Canada on the international stage, she needs better funding. And a lot of our athletes, Jerry, are relying on sponsors. They're relying on people that will help them and ultimately pay for their training throughout the week, throughout the month, so they can do just that. And here we're seeing a clear indication of an athlete who's not only won a silver, but she's also won a bronze in the past, and now she's looking to get back into the games. She's looking to finance her training, and it's unfortunate. I think it's devastating to see one of our athletes who has won 2 medals being forced to this, being forced to
Well, wait a minute. Should she be funded for whatever lifestyle she wants to go into for the rest of her life?
I think it's important that our Canadian athletes have the proper training and have every resource they need to show up and to go to the Olympics and put forward their best self. We're seeing that in the United States. We're seeing that from around the globe with other countries. Why can't Canadians? And don't get me wrong, we did incredibly well at this year's Olympics in Sochi, but we can do better, and we can do better if we have the proper funding for all of our athletes.
But Alex Gunn, you're making my point. I mean, if this is a way of getting athletes off the government teat, which is our money, right? And we have very, specific, responsibilities in order to fund, whether it's healthcare, the military, what have you. I think Olympic gamesmanship ranks way down there. So if they can bring these medals back, get some sucker on eBay to buy it for $1 million, hey, all the more merrier, right? I mean,
by the way, she's asking $1 million, Annick LeBlanc-Boucher, but do you think someone will pay $1 million for someone else's medal?
Well, only a finite percentage of people on this planet, Jerry, get an Olympic medal of any color. And you know what? I know it. You cherish it and everything. Look at this, Jerry. This is my double rink mug. 1983, 1984, first place. I cherish this mug. I don't even drink from it. You give me 5 figures, it's yours. My son, who plays rep hockey, this is the MVP award for the Ball Black tournament that his team won. He was the MVP. I've never been prouder of my son.
Okay, never look.
$50.
No, I'm going to leave your son out of this, but I might be willing, rather than buy the mug, to pay a couple of bucks more for one of those drawings your mom put out in the fridge when you were just a little kid. Look, maybe, Alex, let's go with capitalism here, and if somebody can sell a medal and finance her career that way, then it's all worked out for everybody.
Look, and she's an athlete, Jerry, that just wants to compete in the next Olympics. That's all she's trying to do here. She says her skates are too small after having kids. She needs to upgrade to a new pair of skates, and she wants to be able to train because she can't do that as a mother. It's something that she needs to do, and if this is the only way she can do it, it's really unfortunate to see that, large corporations aren't stepping in to sponsor her. We should see corporations from across Canada sponsoring athletes, and this would really help them. I know this is something that a lot of athletes struggle with, and it's why we see such young athletes in the Olympics.
Appreciate both of you. Thanks very much.